Okay. So I'm Nicole Dodd, and I've got Beryl Comar here with me. Jacqueline is popping in and out with her internet issues today, so we'll just pick up where we can for now until Jacqueline comes back in. So Beryl, you've been in the NLP world a really, really long time now. What's been the highlights for you, and why should people consider NLP now?
Well, NLP is not anything new, actually. I remember when I started learning NLP in the 80s and people, oh, this new stuff. It's not, it's just modeling excellence. And what better time to model excellence than now when there's so much mediocrity around, from our politicians to our corporate leaders to young people, parenting. Just, do we know what excellence is anymore? Even in schools, children leaving primary school without being able to read. NLP is modeling excellence. And once you realize there are just a few basic techniques that you can expand on and make your own when you go to master level, anybody can learn them. Anybody can learn, from things like the spelling cure, the fast phobia cure, the maths cure, the allergy cure. They're so simple. The thing is that psychology seems to have made everything so complicated, and everybody is going into what I call cosmoanalysis, cosmopsychology, which I think started with Cosmopolitan magazine, which used to have those pages in the middle where 10 ways to find out if you're a narcissist, 10 ways to see if your relationship is perfect. And you'd have a question and then 3 or 4 choices and tick it off. They used to be the most popular thing with men in the doctor's waiting room, by the way. So, and in the end, you've got the score. If your score is this, you're a this. If it scores this, you're a this. And from then on, people started diagnosing themselves and talking about, oh, you're a this or you're a that, and putting labels on themselves. What we're doing with NLP is we're taking the labels off. Yeah. People have so many labels. I'm a this, I'm a this, I'm a that. No, stop it. And just say, I'm a human being.
Yeah.
And this other stuff is not me. I've learned it on the way. Let me change it. And NLP gives us those techniques, those strategies, either as a therapist to help people or as a human being who wants to stop being a human doing. So, yeah, I think it's exciting to learn how to change. I know when I first started in 1984 learning NLP, it wasn't on anybody's radar in the UK. I was doing a master's degree in applied linguistics at Reading University, and we had to search around for a dissertation subject. And I found this thing called neurolinguistic programming. Wow, the idea that you could program yourself through your language, not just words, but body language, all the linguistic systems of signs and signals, and into your neuro. At the time, we had a subject called neurolinguistics, which was mostly Chomsky grammar, which again is what the deep structure of grammar is. And they don't seem to teach it very much in NLP courses these days. But I had this amazing start because I kept saying I wanted to do NLP. Oh, it's American. Oh, we don't know that. It's not science. It's blah, blah, blah. And I'm the sort of person that, and somebody says you can't do that, I say, I can't do it yet, but I will. I'll find a way. If there's a wall, I'll get over it or through it or around it, or, get someone to lift me up and over it. So I didn't even wait for graduation. I did something on what was it? About Arab children learning English and comparing it with the way English question form, and comparing with how English children learn the question form and how much that, how different it was, or if it was similar. It was very similar. It didn't actually link to very much to their first language. Of course, in Arabic, the reading one way, in English another way. But yeah, so I did a longitudinal cross-lateral study. And then I didn't even wait for graduation or to hear my results. Just flight to the States, find this guy called Grinder, find this guy called Bandler, let's find them. There was one book at that time on NLP, From Frogs to Princes.
Yeah.
All there was. Yeah. And yeah, it was exciting.
When people come to train with you and learn from you, they're learning not just NLP, but all your wealth of experience, all your knowledge, and going right back to the early days, really, because it wasn't that long after NLP came about that you began your studies within it. So you really do have almost the entire longevity of NLP as long as it's been going.
Yeah, I've seen the history of it grow, and I've seen how, those of us that have learned from the very roots, and there are some people like Barry Neal, for example, has also been to the States and learned from the roots. But a lot of people, and same with EFT, which I went and learned in the States in 2000 when it was just starting. But a lot of people learn from a teacher, learn from a teacher, learn from a teacher, and the source gets lost, and there's no standardization of what should be in a course now. But when Bandler first started teaching, he said, this is what should be taught in a practitioner course. This is what should be taught and practiced and tested in a master course. But then you get people say, well, I don't like that, so I'm not going to teach it. Don't like that. So, and well, you mentioned knowledge. And one of the things I use is this, people love acronyms, ASK. Knowledge to me is the lowest form of learning and doing. I mean, nowadays I can go to Siri and she has more knowledge than me. Let's face it.
Yeah.
Knowledge it's outdated. Because there's something more important than knowledge, and that's S. What's the S? Skills.
I know I should know this one.
If I call a plumber, I don't want him to have a PhD in water hydrology. I want him to have the skills to get in and unbung my toilet and not be afraid to, even if it's something that he hasn't directly done before. He's a good problem solver, and he'll get his plastic gloves on and he'll get the poop out and do what he needs to do to do what he'll do. Skills are so important.
Absolutely.
Everybody going to university these days and being knowledge-based, we're losing the skilled-based people. But there's something more important than skills. Attitude. Attitude. And I hope that in my course, I pass that love, that attitude of NLP. I didn't learn NLP because it was going to be my career. I learned it because, wow, this sounds fantastic. It seems, I was a head of a teacher training. Well, no, actually, I'd taken a year off to do my master's, and I'd been a school principal. So, I wanted to see how it could apply to helping kids in the classroom. I never thought it was going to be in itself a career. And it wasn't. I was practicing. It was only in 1996. I could no longer be, and I was then at the university, head of teacher training, that I was getting so many people at the weekend and people asking me, oh, you helped me so much. My mom's coming on holiday. Can you help her? Yeah. Oh, but she doesn't speak English. She's Russian, or she's French, or she's Croatian. I said, I need to start teaching people to know to do what I do, because we need people in different languages. And that's when I started teaching NLP and teaching hypnosis and hypnotherapy. I never thought it was going to be my career, ever. It was the attitude. And when you have the right attitude, you will learn the skills and you will learn the knowledge. It's called just-in-time learning. Just like in business, you have just-in-time logistics, which of course is why everything's fallen apart now, because everybody used to get things just in time for it on the next part of the conveyor belt. Well, now they're not getting the things, the just-in-time theories break down. So I really believe this. And if I ever lose the attitude, I will stop teaching. I will stop doing what I do. But I'm still enthusiastic. I think what happened is a lot of people, oh, I can see that person. They're making a lot of money, or they seem to be doing something great. I want to be an NLP teacher. Call Beryl. Do you teach NLP? Yes. Well, I want to join your course. Oh, what do you know about NLP? Oh, nothing, but I want to be an NLP teacher. That's like saying for a 4-year-old, I want to be a maths teacher, and they haven't learned their numbers 1 to 20 or what to do with them and play with them yet. Yeah.
It's so
the attitude is just to make money, just to, rather than the attitude of this is fun, and to work with somebody's brain, to work with your own brain, to manipulate, fun, to talk with the subconscious mind is so, isn't it awesome?
It is. I love bringing NLP into my practice. It just changes the dynamics. And for me, when my clients are doing something like the visual squash integration, it really proves to them the conscious mind, the subconscious mind exists. And for that just sells everything then going forwards. It's plain sailing, because you've just shown them, they've just seen that their hands moved without any influence at all.
I'm looking ahead, but my hands move. And I feel something different now. Yes.
Yeah. I love the instant results, that gratification. It's so quick. And the client walks out that door and they know the changes have been made because they instantly can recognize that. And that is the true power of it for me. I love that for that very reason.
Yeah. And people say, well, what's the difference between this NLP stuff that you do and this hypnosis stuff and emotional intelligence? I said, we're like Heineken beer. Yeah, that reaches we reach the parts of the brain that the psychologists can't reach. Because they're only talking to the conscious mind. Yeah. And we get to that subconscious, that uncomfortable feeling. And we use skills like reframing, just with conversational hypnosis, with questioning, and they go, oh, never thought of that before. And just the silence. Yeah. Again, people think they've got to keep pounding those, leave them in their silence where the change is taking place, when you see that derivational search. Yeah.
Yeah, that it's going in deep. Once you see the eyes going side to side, you've hit something, then you've got them right where you need them to be.
Yeah. And I never thought about it that way. Okay. Now you do what you could do with that information. And I see people who think they're doing NLP, but they end up with the shoulds and the musts and the have tos, the got tos, the tries. And no, it's about getting rid of the judge within you.
Yeah.
And because that's what they've been doing to themselves.
That's it. And as you always say, a lot of people think that what we do is like a talking therapy, and it isn't. If talking works, like you said to me before, it'll be working when you're out talking with your girlfriends. This changes things so much for people.
Yeah. Because everybody's heard their conscious story. Oh, we did this, no, that happened, and I don't want to hear that. Where's the feeling? You change the feeling, you change the thought.
Yeah.
That's why I made that video on the NLP mind model. To just, okay, I understand, and I do enter the debate on is there conscious or subconscious, whatever. And I go with the flow on the recent research, but we still need for the client to have the same kind of language that they can understand. They need a basic understanding, and to flood the client with all that stuff that we talk about, the theory is, it doesn't work. We need to have, again, neuro-linguistic programming. We need a linguistic channel that's the same.
Yeah.
And it works. They understand conscious, subconscious, unconscious, even super duper conscious. You know, that moment where you say, oh, how did I get home today? I don't remember driving. Well, maybe you're super duper conscious, looked after you, or oh, my angels. Well, if it's angels, I work with your belief system, your attitude.
That's it. Following their map of the world, isn't it?
Absolutely. Oh, I love the presuppositions.
Yeah.
I'm writing a book at the moment on NLP and dementia, because that's where I've started to go into, again, models of excellence now for dementia, where is something that not many people are doing. I'm finding now that I've been doing some research for 6 months. Some people have, but very far and in between. There are still people saying, oh, don't work with people who have fits, epilepsy, don't work with dementia, don't work with this, don't work. Hey, hang on. Don't is not a model of excellence. Finding a model of excellence is find somebody here who is, find what common threads are between those people. And that's what Bandler did. He didn't just study Milton Erickson, and bear in mind, Milton Erickson never taught anybody. But he looked at the strategies of Milton Erickson, Virginia Satir, and others, to Gregory Bateson, to find out what was the common thread between them that made change.
Yeah.
And they worked with that, the linguistics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you think people should learn NLP today? What uses can people put NLP to? Where can it take them? Because you've got this course coming up, and
I wouldn't even say you should learn. Explore it.
Yeah.
Explore it and get that attitude. You know, why with me? Because I limit to the numbers. Still online, I'm still teaching 16 people, which is what I always did, because that gives me a chance to work one-on-one with each person, so they can all have an experience. It gives them a chance to work in pairs, in threes, and I can walk around and hear them. So when we break into groups, 16 people, that's 8 groups, that's manageable for me to get in and see how they're working, for them to, it's time for them all to ask questions, for me to check any homework. And yeah, there is an assessment at the end. The assessment is open book. It's not a test of what you remember. It's, can you use the manual? This is very, can you use the manual when you need to find what you need? Yeah. In other words, skills. Yeah. Not just knowledge. So I've got the skills to, oh, she asked me a question, this client, I have this. And to even have the courage to say, you know what? I know I have that technique and I've practiced it. I just haven't used it since I did my training. We'll just look at that, shall we? My husband was a GP. So sometimes he would have a patient in front of him with some weird disease that he didn't often see. He'd say, let me just check on the dosage in my MIMS for that medication, or just see if there's an update for you, because we don't want it to contradict with some other medication. So he'd pull his MIMS out and say, oh yes, I think this is the one for you. Nobody thought less of him. I think they thought better that he did check.
Absolutely.
I found one here. It's a new one, and it doesn't have a contraindication for those other tablets you're taking, or for that wobbliness you have, whereas that old one. So see how you go with this, and I'll see you in 3-4 days.
Yeah.
And nobody, so it's you don't have to be an expert, but to have the skills and the language and confidence. You will come out confident from this course. I know a lot of people do video courses these days, but nobody's checked on them. Nobody's looked at them. Their friend has helped them to fill in their assessments. And they've got the certificate. But I love this quote from Bandler, and he said, as soon as the certificate is on the wall, it's out of date.
Yeah.
Isn't that fabulous? I mean, people look at all this, say, oh, we've got so many certificates. Say every one of them's out of date. Don't ask me about what they are. Ask me, what have you done since you got those, Beryl?
Yeah.
That's the value.
Your clients are your manual when you're going forwards, aren't they?
Yeah. And they say, oh, you should write a book. You should write a book. I'm so busy with clients. I don't have time to write a book. If somebody's written 10 books, how did they do that? Either with a ghostwriter, or they weren't seeing clients. It took me 3 years to actually write my book, and then another year or two to actually get it published. Because I was busy with clients and busy with teaching.
Yeah.
So yeah, the value of working with me is I walk the talk.
And I
I've
think
been
also,
doing it a long time. I've seen all the changes come and go, and I'm interested in you as a person. And that goes beyond the course. So many of my students have become my friends. They can call me. And Jacqueline, I taught many years ago, and we're still friends. And she knows she can call me. I've introduced her to other people that have more of a speciality in this area or that area, expanded her knowledge and her network.
I like to call it channeling my inner Beryl, which I had to on Sunday actually with somebody.
Okay.
I had to do it Sunday.
Yeah, I have someone who called me this week. One of my
And it was great.
And she calls herself, my ambition is to be a mini me of Beryl.
and I love the Berylisms that you have as well, like you just demonstrated earlier with ask.
Oh yes.
And they're so valuable. They really are.
Yeah. Well, here's another one, because it's written on a piece of paper that I was actually talking with somebody about the other day, and it's this word, responsibility.
Yeah.
So many people think responsibility is, oh, I have to do this and I have to do this, and I'm responsible for putting garbage out, and No, the word responsibility comes from ability to respond.
Yeah.
Choosing your response is the responsibility to yourself and to the communication. It's not a should and a must and a have to. But we've changed words linguistically. And again, why train with me? Because I do have, and I think I'm quite rare, apart from Grinda, to actually have a master's degree in linguistics.
You.
And well, in applied linguistics anyway. Whereas a lot of people, maybe they don't even have an O level, and then they learn NLP. That you do need to understand how words work, how language systems work, and how that affects our brain. Because I don't know if you speak another language, but I speak a few languages, and I become a different person according to the language I speak.
I was literally saying that earlier this week. Yeah, absolutely, 100% agree.
Yeah, when I'm speaking Swahili, I'm really confident, and I'm very sort of, yeah, because I learned it in Tanzania. So, yeah, very direct. Arabic, not so direct, more inquisitive. Spanish, I'm just starting to learn now, so I'm like a little kid. I've been reforming a house here, so working with the builders, I'm like a little kid, but I've got to be the one who's having the work done, so I'm the customer and I want it to my standards. So yeah, and no grammar, just lots of lots of verbs and lots of nouns just put together. You will understand.
I find when I speak Spanish, I get this newfound energy within me, this vibrancy, and the arms are going and everything, and it's just this passion ignites.
Yeah,
I do. I love languages, and not even speaking them, but hearing them. Hearing other languages, it completely changes my state of mind and everything.
Yeah, and we may all speak English because we're English, but we all have our own inner language to express our thoughts, our feelings. And you have to feel kind of sorry for guys, because their emotional literacy is quite poor compared to women. If you ask a group of men How many words can you give me in 30 seconds for the word angry? Yeah, feelings and word. You ask a group of women, you'll get 3 times as many words from the women. Men, you'll usually get angry, pissed off, and then they're stuck. Whereas women can access so many other words.
Yeah.
Because we have that emotional literacy. And it starts from early age, and it starts from how we talk to our girls, how we program them. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, and looking at our language, how we speak to one another, how we speak to ourselves. Yeah. Yeah, all those shoulds and musts and have tos. In Arabic, we call them the lazms. Yeah. And you hear it in religion as well. I think the way that religion expresses things, don't and must and should and have to, changes the way you speak to yourself as well. So NLP is exploring that, and it's so freeing once you realize I have choice. I have choice to change myself, to change my language, my perceptions, and those presuppositions are so wonderful. And that's why it led me on to the dementia thing, because it's based on the presuppositions of the carers and how they then talk. Come on, mother, let's get you to the... You're not offering them choice now. You're not stimulating them anymore. There's so much you can do. Yeah.
That's so interesting, because as parents, we could be more effective with our language to get them barriers down between perhaps your teenager and yourself. Just reducing them barriers so you can communicate more effectively and cleanly in schools. It'd be so beneficial. I really can't think of areas where this wouldn't be beneficial to someone to learn. In sales, the sales environment, to help have that rapport with the clients and the persuasion of your language even.
Yeah. So, back to 1984, and got my master's, the certificate on the wall from Reading, but I had my NLP now. And then I went back and I totally changed the way I talk, because as the headmistress, you do have some authority, let's face it, perceived authority. What they say behind your back might not be what they say to your face. But in those days, kids, you're naughty, go see Miss Beryl. So I'd open my office door and there were the naughty kids. Oh, hello, Ali. What are you doing here? Miss Smith sent me. How come I was naughty? Or she said, okay, come on in. And I just talked to them and have been waking hypnosis, and they go back, and the teachers used to say, I don't know what you do, but they're ever so good when they come back. And then it started kind of backtracking on me, because they started putting their hand up. What is it, Ali? I'm going to be naughty. Can I go talk to Miss Beryl? What does he mean he's going to be naughty? Because I'd started giving them strategies of things to do, and in their little brain they weren't like, oh, something's happening, I don't know, so I'll go and talk to Miss Beryl because she'll give me a strategy.
Oh.
Yeah, so it was kind of catching up on me, and nobody knew it was my hobby, because to talk about the word hypnosis in the Middle East in the early 80s, and that's... Yeah, and there was the thing with Bandler and the court case and all those sort of things going on. So I just kept it as my secret. It's lovely. It's nice to have a secret as well. I'm that kind of a person. Be the rebel. So yeah, come on the course and learn how to be a rebel. We need more rebels.
Absolutely.
You are a rebel. You are a rebel, Beryl.
Outside the box. Yeah.
It's starting 6th of March and it's running for 5 weekends on a Sunday. So it gives people the opportunity, if they're working, to still be able to attend. And of course, because it's online, absolutely anybody from anywhere in the world can come and join us. It's going to be very interactive, very hands-on, and lots of experience to happen there.
Yeah, and I don't care if you're in your PJs, your hair's not done or whatever. I want to see you. I don't want to see your little icon or anything, because I want to see your reactions. I want to respond to those and work with you. So it's not like, oh, I've got the recording, I'll watch it later. And of course, you never do, or you never find time. So of those 5 days of training, you're expected to be at 4 of them. Well, you're expected to be in 5, but Nicole's been on your side and said, well, can't they have one where if it's an emergency? Okay, Nicole.
I'm sure everybody will be attending every day because they're going to be excited and keen to keep learning more. I know for me, every time that I talk to you, I'm just more and more enthusiastic to learn more, because I feel like you're not even at the tip of the iceberg with everything that you've learned and you have to give, and what your clients have taught you. And just, you've worked with so many different people all over the world. You're world renowned now, trained everywhere. It's what a wealth of knowledge to be learning from.
Thank you.
And I will say from experience of spending 5 days with Beryl on the Element course and hypnodontics, that it's like during the course, all these different things come out that you didn't expect, that wasn't in the itinerary. And it's like I refer to as my Cyprus. So that hidden jewel, that Mediterranean island, that hidden jewel in the centre. And it's just like you just come up with so much knowledge. And I remember when you were talking about the naughty kids during our course, I was that naughty child in school, and I had undiagnosed dyspraxia. And I don't even remember, Beryl, you taught me how to spell because I was getting my words jumbled up with the dyslexia. So there I was in my, well, what am I, 50 now, but I was in my 40s then, at the front of the class holding up these bits of paper, trying to spell my words and get them right, you know. So yeah, it worked. It just worked. So I know.
Well, you're a better speller now.
I like to think so.
Fantastic.
I blame the keyboards, but I want to share as well, because I jumped in quite late and I heard you mention epilepsy. The very first client that I dealt with after qualifying in the Elman was a guy with epileptic fits, and I'd been working with him for a while. It was a long journey. He was recovering from brain cancer, a long journey. But it was that last session, the Elman session we did with some NLP, that I have never seen him since. And I get the odd message off him now, his leg, he's walking again, and he's just never had a fit since. So it's just been incredible. It really.
Yeah, and those were things that weren't even in the outline.
And I'm a little bit excited because, Nicola, you mentioned something about a discount, ladies. I do apologise. That we had some form of a discount for the women in hypnosis and NLP, especially for Valentine's Day. Can you tell us a little bit about that exciting bit?
Of course. So the discount code is My Valentine, and there's currently an early bird price of 1247. The normal price is 1,500, and it's actually going to reduce that down to £997. So you're getting 5 days full on training with Beryl Comar, certified by the NLP. You're getting all that hands-on experience, and you're getting it for less than £1,000. I mean, what more can you say? She's giving it away here, absolutely giving it away.
And you get a full manual.
Yeah. And there's also access to all the recordings.
It's not like my certificate. It's a certificate from the National Federation of Neuro-Linguistic Programming in the United States.
Right.
And you'll be on their website.
So all these women in the group that we talk and we ask about NLP, they're getting to learn it. I'm not saying the oldest, but one of the longest serving NLP master trainers we have in the UK, actually, because it's got to be 40 years plus since you've been delivering NLP.
1984, so I guess another 2 years.
Okay, we could round it off to a nice even number. So yeah, so that's a lot of experience to be bringing in to our ladies, for our ladies in the group as well. And I'm speaking on behalf of the ladies. I know this is open to absolutely everyone, so I'm just speaking on behalf of the ladies, so you know. So, but you know, I will say to anybody out there thinking of training with Beryl, I would say just bite bite the hand off to do it, because we spent an incredible 5 days down in London a few years with Beryl, and it wasn't just about the learnings and the teachings, it was about getting to know Beryl. She is a complete rebel, an absolute scream as well. So it was fun, it was interesting, it was fun. And I know from experience, when you're having fun whilst you're learning, you absorb it a lot deeper than when you're just getting someone boring standing in front of you. So definitely. So it's not just about the teachings and the learnings. It's just the incredible experience that you get from training with Beryl Comar. So yeah. But I wanted to share very quickly. I asked for some feedback from the team that were with you that time. And one lady has come forward and said, Beryl works, all you see is a heart. Just the heart. She comes forward with so much compassion that it was just the heart, this lady. The male on the course, so as you know, a friend of yours, incredible time with you. We have a couple more come forward and said, similar to me, where you've got that softness. It's almost like every adult you work with, you're actually working with them as a child. That comes through, that softness, that fun, encouraging side. So one lady said that's what she took away. And for me personally, it was the confidence to go there, to really go there, because when you work with people, well, you can't do that, you can't do this, you've got to be careful that, oh, don't do that. And it was when I come back from your course, I was like, roll the sleeves up, let's go, do you know? And I've pretty much been that type of therapist ever since, because based on the theory of NLP and hypnosis, why not? Based on the theories, you know. And this is what happened Sunday when I was working with a group of ladies. Something come to my attention. I was taken to one side by someone. She explained what was going on for her, and I said, right, I know what to do. It was more or less like a 6-step reframe, really, but literally gone with it, literally within 5 minutes. Very stubborn part. But in fact, I had something through the post today about being voted the top 3 hypnotherapists for this company in the UK. And this lady has actually written down, yeah, thank you. It's the 3rd year in a row, but I forgot all about it. And she actually written, well deserved, you totally deserve it. So giving her kind of integrity not to discuss that on a social media platform, for the comment she put, I just went, thank you so much. But it was her. And she said she feels lighter than she has in years, you know. So it's just wonderful. It's incredible. So yes, challenge you in a barrel. Get out there, roll your sleeves up, and go there. Just go and do what needs to be done.
Yeah, I would say take what I give you and improve it.
Yeah,
I give
you said that you
better, and then come back and teach me.
I remember you saying, "Come back and teach me."
Is.
I know.
Yeah, it's not following.
Do you know the man I work with the brain tumor? I told him I was going off to train with you, and he actually did follow you on YouTube, and he watched you working. So by the time I got back, he was full of confidence that I'd been training with you as well. So it was a really lovely connection, even though he didn't meet you. It was just such a beautiful connection. I think that's so important, isn't it? So yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. And you know, I still have my days full of my clients from Dubai and references, because in Dubai they know I worked with the royal family, and that's the best marketing of all. I don't have to market to the locals, to the Arabs, because they know that. Yeah.
So great. So yeah, so I thought I'd pop on and join you ladies. Thanks for having me in. I'm so excited to hear about that discount. So I'm as the video's ready to share, let me know and I can pop it in the group. And yes, and I'm hoping to see you all on the 6th of March.
Yeah, it'd be lovely to see you.
Okay, well, I'll bob out. We'll leave you continue then. Thank you for inviting me in. It's been an absolute pleasure. And yeah, I'll see you all in less than a month then. See if I can.
Take care.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Big loves to the both of you. Bye. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. So, is there anything else you'd like to know?
Maybe, is there a quick technique you could teach people now that they could do at home on their own, just to understand the power of NLP? Just some little snippets someone could take away?
Well, as I say, NLP is modeling excellence. So it takes things from many areas. And one of them is kinesiology. I'm also kinesiology. kinesiologist. You can see my certificate was up there, and then later that took me to EFT and things like that. And there's a point here between small finger and here. There's a sort of valley in there. Yeah.
So try that a little bit more, just so we can see. Yeah.
Tap in here.
Yeah.
Just keep tapping in here. Keep tapping in here. And if you've got a headache, or you're feeling down, or got a panic attack coming on, or something, you know, just say all these feelings, all these feelings, all these feelings, all these feelings. Yeah. And then you can actually say, feeling tired, feeling whatever, you know, you're actually energizing your system here. So it's very, very quick. Yeah. Take a deep breath and then tap on the wrist. Peace. Peace. You need to say it out loud. With the more feeling, the better. And then take a deep breath, look into the distance, and we always test with NLP. And too many people miss this. The test is look into the distance. Maybe it's a clock or something in the distance, and a point. Top of a tree is good, middle distance, in the distance. And you say, I'm trying to feel that feeling now. I'm trying to feel that feeling I had. You're normally given it a number at the beginning as well. I'm trying to feel that old miserable 8 out of 10 feeling. Yeah, I'm trying to feel it. I'm really trying to feel it. And once they start saying, I'm really trying to feel it, they start laughing because they can't.
Amazing.
And, you know, you get those people who say, I'm always depressed, or I'm always anxious. Always, you know, just do that with them and they go, but I'm not anxious now. Okay. You're not always anxious, are you?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you've been to a wedding and had a dance with somebody and you've been in another mood. To show people so easily you can change your mood. But what is mood? I hate that word. It's actually attitude, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we're giving them the skills and knowledge to change their attitude. And then with that attitude, you can change your own skills and knowledge. You don't have to become therapist dependent. And that's what I've always wanted in life, is to make people independent of me. That's why I don't do packages and come back next week or things like that. I want you to be independent. I want you to fly. I want you to go.
Yeah.
And be the best.
Absolutely. And I think that's the perfect note to end it on, be the best. And that's what NLP does, isn't it? It gives you the best version of yourself because you're able to bring that out in yourself.
Yeah. Being the best doesn't mean being the perfectionist, being the best in the class, getting the A's. It's just being the best you and being comfortable with yourself.
Yeah, that is so important.
Yeah.
It is. Well, it's been absolutely wonderful to talk with you today, and we'll get the link popped in the below so anyone who's interested in finding out more can have a look and take advantage of that amazing offer. And you've also got for the first 8 people, a couple of free gifts, haven't you? There's a booklet on emotional intelligence, and then something about self-sabotage. Was that an audio for self-sabotage as well?
Yes, I can send that to
Fantastic.
people. Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, guys, you need to get taking up this offer and quick, because we're starting in just a few short weeks now. So thank you very much, Beryl. It's been lovely to talk to you, and I'll see you very soon.
Thank you for your help in telling people about this, Nicole.
That's all right.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.